Name and what do you do in the military? Age and how long have you served? My name is Barry Murray. What do you do in the military? I'm an explosive ordnance officer. I run information operations. I coordinate everything from the lowly private down to highly classified operations. And how long have I been in? On April 19th, it'll be 23 years. What's your definition of PTSD? It is the learned response from the stress of a certain situation or an extended period of time, being in a highly stressful situation. PTSD can come from life-threatening from yourself to others or a dramatic and quick change. So did you think PTSD would affect you when you joined the military? No. When I joined, it was right at the end of the Cold War. Things were coming down. Never thought I'd be deployed. Never thought I'd be out. Just thought I'd hang out for 20 years and get my paycheck. When did you first notice PTSD in yourself? For sure after the first mobilization. Things that had happened before that, watching one of my fellow soldiers be cut in half by a machine gun and having to put him back together so he could live. Probably things that put into that, but the actual first true signs was after the first mobilization, and this went from 2003 to 2004. How do you help yourself with PTSD? Good question. Time. Removed from the stressful environment. Once it kicks in, PTSD is kicked off by trigger mechanisms within the environment. And since I have other factors other than the military with PTSD, going to certain towns, certain areas, will start to feel the anxiety, the rush, the adrenaline, the everything else. The problem with it is the adrenaline side becomes addictive. Does the military talk openly about PTSD? Yes, we do talk openly about it. If so, how often? At least once a year I have to take my mental evaluation and they tell me I'm wonderful and fine. What kind of information are you given? We have a program where people who are going through that you're supposed to be able to call at any point in time. We have access to chaplains constantly, things like that. A lot of talk about it. And then I'll go right on the second one. Are you encouraged to get help from the military? If you're on active duty, yes, they have help, but when I go back on reserve status, they tell you to go to the VA, which the VA system is heavily overloaded right now and cannot contain what's going on there. That's why they're building a multi-million-dollar complex here in Billings to handle parts of that, along with the physical and mental parts of that. You're encouraged, but the ability to truly get help, it's usually not there. The help comes from within the other soldiers, and then the ability to sit down and talk to people who understand the situation. PTSD, what are the problems you face? It is the anxiousness and scenario like that where you want to get in, patience is gone. You just want to get through the situation, past whatever the trigger mechanism is. How does your family feel about your PTSD? Well, because like I said, there's other factors that cause PTSD within my scenario, such as certain illnesses and things like that. We all have PTSD on different forms. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a combat related. It's just it's a post-traumatic, anything that can set that off. So different things. We have common trigger mechanisms in those situations, and like I said, the biggest thing is having the group and being able to talk about it. Okay, in the future, do you yourself getting over your PTSD. No, once you have it, once that trigger mechanism is there, the only thing you learn to do is to deal with it. And the coping mechanism